Bitcoin crossed $40,000 in January of 2021. It performed well last year in 2020 and is taking this momentum into 2021. But what does all that mean? What is Bitcoin and why is everybody talking about it? You will learn about that and more in this episode of BlockchainX School of Blockchain. Roll the intro. What's up guys, and welcome to the first ever episode of BlockchainX School of Blockchain. I'm your host Vinayak Rajagopalan and I am a tokenomics specialist with BlockchainX. Every week on this channel, we help you learn everything you need to know about blockchain and crypto. Today, we are going to be talking about Bitcoin. Things are looking hot for Bitcoin, isn't it? Bitcoin touched an all-time high of $40,000 in the first week of January. But what does that mean? We'll start off with what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is a digital currency that runs on something called blockchain technology. We are going to cover blockchain technology in a different video because that on its own is kind of a big topic. Basically, Bitcoin is a digital currency. The money we use today is called fiat currency. There are certain differences between fiat and digital currencies, and we're going to be talking about that right now. Because before you understand what a cryptocurrency is, you have to have an idea about what money is. Basically, money represents value, and for money to have value, it has to have trust. So I'll give you an example, like an analogy will help you understand it better. If you go to a place where they use stones or pebbles as currency, you'll have to use these stones or pebbles to buy commodities. Even if you have, let's say, $10,000 with you, or $1 million for that sake. If you have $1 million and go to that place, and if you use the $1 million if you try to use $1 million to buy something, you won't find anything because the currency there is the pebble. This is basically how money works. For money to have value, it has to have trust. We follow a trust system, like a trust model, to decide the value of money. In the beginning, we used something or a commodity to decide the value of money. Now, we trust someone, and we'll get into that. Over the years, we have used many mediums as stores of value: silver, wheat, and other food grains. But gold is perhaps something that everybody knows about. Before about 100 years or so, people used gold to buy commodities. They would carry around pieces of gold like gold bars or gold coins, and they would exchange it for commodities. But carrying around sacks of gold isn't very convenient. So what the central banks did and the government did is that they said, you give us your gold, we'll give you a document saying that you have this much of gold with you, and you can use that document to buy commodities. With this system, for every banknote in existence, there was a corresponding quantity of gold in the treasury. This is how currency gained value. It was gold backed. When currencies were gold backed, there was a limit to how many currencies the banks could print. Many people still believe that currencies are backed by gold, but it's not so. So, what does back a currency? Currencies of today are backed by the government. It is a promise of the government that the piece of paper in your hand is worth something. This is called fiat currency. So as you can see, we have shifted the trust model from trusting something to trusting someone, meaning the government. There are several factors that decide exactly how much a currency is valued. But the concept that a piece of paper is worth something is a legal tender by the government. So this is the centralized monetary system. The banks print the money and we use the money. But carrying around banknotes is not exactly very convenient. I mean, it's more convenient than carrying around gold, but still, you can't really carry millions of dollars in your pocket. So, to tackle this problem, we shifted to digital currencies. Yes, the money we use today is also a digital currency. But what is the difference between Bitcoin and a normal digital currency? In the current system, when you make a payment or you send an amount of money to somebody else, what happens is a mathematical process. If you send $1 gets subtracted from your account and it gets added to that person's account. The problem here is that these transactions are validated and stored on the bank's central servers, meaning that anybody with the access to that server can make multiple copies of the same transactions. This is called the double spend problem, meaning that the balance of your account is stored on a ledger in the centralized server. Anybody with access to that server can make multiple copies of that ledger and multiple copies of the currency. Just like printing excess money causes inflation, the double spend problem also causes inflation, which means that the money in your hand or the money in your account, it's worth less as time goes on. So, how do you solve this problem? I mean, how do you tackle this? In 2008, an anonymous person or a group of people called Satoshi Nakamoto published a white paper, which is essentially a document outlining a currency system, a peer-to-peer currency system called Bitcoin. The greatest advantage with Bitcoin is that it works on top of a technology called blockchain. Blockchain is basically a data structure that is immutable, transparent, and highly secure. In the centralized monetary system, you'll have to satisfy certain criteria or like certain rules and regulations to create an account or be a part of the system. But with Bitcoin, all you need is the internet and a digital wallet. That's all we have for you right now. If you like the video, consider subscribing because we'll be posting more videos on blockchain and crypto in the days to come. If you like this video, share it with your friends. I'll see you next time on BlockchainX School of Blockchain.